Hello, welcome to 9 Design 3D. Today we will make, as you've seen before, a game scene as a subway station interior. We made before how to make subway, train and outside station, but in this time I want to make it look like not a bit a scene type, but I will make today a game environment for you. Let's go to the tutorial. First, we will start to make our stairs for our subway station. Now, we will add a plane to our scene. After that, we will add some array modifier, set your x value 0 and y value 1. Check the constant offset. After that, you can set your z value for give some heightness to this. As you see, in tab to edit mode with the edge selection, you can E to extrude to down and increase your count and scale your stairs. Which shape you want, you can make it. After that, we will E to extrude down edges for the closest areas. And choose your vertices, press M and merge at center for them. After all of that, we will make some rail for holding at a cylinder. We will give some bevel, but it can cause some problems. You have to make Ctrl A all transform, set origin to geometry. After that, you can now clearly Ctrl B to bevel your rail's top part. With the numpad 3, you can look from the side look and shift it to duplicate your rails. After that, we will add a circle for the side rails bars. You can rotate it and scale. In tab to edit mode, E to extrude for the end of your stairs rail. And after that, in Z to wireframe, you can choose your vertices and place it where you want. I like this type of, and I will shift it to duplicate for the make second rail. And now, if you want to close something, or if you want, you can make some billboard plane for this, or some glass. I will add a plane. As the same method, in tab to edit mode, you can G to move your vertices and G to move for the last part of your stairs. Now you can Ctrl J to join them together. And we will use lots of modifier today. First is mirror modifier. As a mirror object, choose your stairs. And our stairs are ready now. It's time to make our ground floor for our subway station. You can add some plane, and after that E to extrude side edge, Ctrl A all transform. Don't forget to make this and choose side edge and Ctrl B to bevel for give some smoothness for this. And don't forget to right click shade smooth and check your normals auto smooth. You can place it with your camera angle how you want. After that, we will add a mirror modifier it too. In tab to edit mode, press A to select all. As you see, it's are separated. But don't forget to check clipping under your mirror modifier. Now they will be stick together. And now we will add some array modifier to this. Set your x value 0 and y value 1. You can increase your count. We use this same method for all things. Let's make some column. I will add a cube to my scene and place it where I want. If you want, you can set your place with your camera angle from the camera look with the numpad 0. I scale it and I added a bevel for to give some smooth edge looks. If you want, you can add some loop cut with Ctrl R. With the 3, Alt select all your faces. E to extrude, right click and Alt S to scale for give this shape. Now you can add some mirror modifier and choose your ground. For make same thing for the other side. And after that, we will add the array modifiers. Set your x value 0, y value 1, but we will increase it. You can make it 17, 16 or 20, which type you want, and increase your count too. We will make side parts for this. Shift it to duplicate your ground. After that, delete your mirror modifier, rotate and place it. As you see, when you press tab, this array modifier activates still. Add mirror modifier to this for the other side. You can add extra loop cut in here if you want to give a dimensional shape. You can I to inset and E to extrude. Ctrl R, again loop cut. Choose your two faces, press I and press I again for the separated insets. If you want, you can delete your faces in it. For the side columns, we will shift it to duplicate and place it for the side views. From the side grounds, you can E to extrude your edges for making walls. Let's add a ceiling. For this, we will add a simple plane. We don't make any extra or high things for this. I will make in this type. I will G to move my edge, and I am adding loop cuts for delete the stairs up area. I will delete these faces with X. As you see, it will look like that from our camera angle. And now we will add some beams to our ceiling. For this, I am simply using a cube and I am scaling in Y-axis. As you see, in Tab to Edit mode, and set your individual origin, I to inset and E to extrude up. You can give some dimension to this. For the side parts, you can shift it to duplicate and place them. We will add some plane for making some separator between our lights. We will make some fluorescent lights. For this, before all of that, we will add a plane and shift it to duplicate. If you want, you can use the same method as an array modifier. You can Ctrl J to join them and shift it to duplicate for the back part of your station. I am making side parts. We can add some subway sign image for this. Where you want, you can add something in here. I am covering up my scene. You can E to extrude your side panels. And shift it to duplicate for under the side beams for your light separators. I am scaling in X-axis and place them. And shift it to duplicate for the other side. Now it's time to make some fluorescent lights. First, I will add a cube because I will put my lights in it. That's not actually light. I am pressing I to inset and E to extrude up. And now I will add a cylinder with the 16 vertices. You can scale, press Shift Z before your scale, lock for the axis. And I am scaling it. After that, rotate in Y-axis and place. With the Shift D to duplicate. Before all of this, for the cover, you can add some bevel modifier for smooth your edges. Don't forget to check your auto smooth. I am scaling my cylinders and Shift D to duplicate. Let's add some holder chain parts. For this, I am adding a circle with the low vertices and Shift D to duplicate. With the same method, you can E to extrude them up. As the individual origin, you can scale them individually. And Ctrl J to join them if you want. And place it where you want ceiling of your station. I'm not making extra or high things to my scene. Which type you want with your imagination, you can add your scene, or if you want, you can download something from the Sketchfab or Quixel Bridge. For my fluorescent lights, I am shifted to duplicate and place them with the same method. For the sides, I am rotating them in the x-axis and I'm not getting chains. You can rotate and place for the under the side beams and separators. We will give some emission materials to our cylinders and they will look good. I made all the things and shifted to duplicate and placed my fluorescent lamps. After all of that, if you want, you can make big separators for your ceiling under the train road. As you see, I added before, but I forgot to record it. I added a rail. These are really cube, only cube, and I gave some bevel for giving railroad shape. As you see, I made before how to make the subway and subway rails. You can check my video or from the top right card. Let's add some cables to our metro station. You can add some curve as a path, and in tap to edit mode you can move your control vertexes and give a cable shape. If you want, you can use some cable generator add-ons, but I will use a path. Under the curve settings, under the geometry and bevel, you can give some depth for making realistic look for this. I will leave it like that. You can place it where you want. If you want, you can make too much big with the giving offset or bevel for your cables. I am placing them. Don't forget to check your medium point. I will shift it to duplicate and make lots of cable in here for the sailing, for pull up to my sailing look. Shift it to duplicate and place for the back part of your station. As I showed before how to make this animation we made before this, from the top right card I modeled all this subway train and I showed how to make a cinematic scene with this. I will use my old subway train. I don't want to model it again. So I will append this file to my new project. But have you ever been made before this type of subway train? You can go from the top right card. You can model your own train. I will append my old subway train. Under the collection I will choose subway and my train came in here. It's a bit little, but you can scale it with your cube. If it's shorter for you, you can shift it to duplicate for make it longer. Now let's make our train's front part. I will model it from our texture. I found a subway train image from the Google. I will add a plane for this and after that I'm scaling. In Z to wireframe or from the top right, I am adding some extra loop cuts and moving my vertices for giving a bit roundy front shape. For this I'm adding a subway front material and it's time to make it. In the shading tab we will add some image texture and connect color to Principled BSDF base color. After that I will choose my train. As you see, our image came here. And now you can use the Smart UV project and we have to tidy up it. Under the UV edit tab you can place and scale your vertices and UV map from here. I am moving my vertices with the same method using G. As you see, you can add some extra loop cuts. And after that, I will choose some faces in it with the tree and E to extrude it in the Y-axis. You can give some dimensional and realistic look for your train, or maybe you can make some shops or buildings with this method. It's really easy and really good look. I am making extrusion for my some faces. Where you want, you can add your loop cuts. If you want, you can cut with knife, give an extrusion. If you want, you can make it smooth. You can add some subdivision surface modifier. I choose and side faces, shift it to duplicate. After that, E to extrude for the make longer my front part of the train. With the O, you can activate your proportional edit and you can give some roundy shape your subway station train. I will add a metallic texture to here. If you want, you can download from the Ambient CG or Polyheaven as writing metal, I'm making a galvanize. And again U to unwrap. As you see, its look for me, I liked it. And I am adding same material for my subway train's other parts. And as the same method, I will U to unwrap. I am choosing all my parts and last selection material part, and after that press Ctrl L and it will link your materials. I will add some empty cube to my scene, and after that choose your all train parts and last selection empty cube, Ctrl P, and object keep transform. Now when you move your cube, your train will be moved. I added some keyframes for this. For the first timeline, as you see in the timeline, for the first keyframe, I pressed I, location, rotation, scale. And in the timeline, I went to last keyframe. After moved my train, for the last keyframe, I added, press again I, location, rotation, scale. And our train will pass our station. I added this type of little animation to this. Press Ctrl T in your timeline, it will show the seconds. If you Ctrl T again, and it will show your keyframes. And I downloaded this material tiles from the embeddcg.com as a 2K. From the Polyheaven, I downloaded square floor. And large floor, I downloaded this tile material from the Polyheaven too. We will use them. First, we will add our ground material, and after that go to shading, press Principal BSDF and press Ctrl Shift T. And after that choose all your textures map. If it's not working in you, and you can edit preferences and activate Node Wrangler. As the same method, we U to unwrap this, and in the UV edit tab you can scale your texture. Which type you want, you can set it. Under the shading tab, I want to add some a bit wet, rainy look to my floor. I am adding color ramp and noise texture between my roughness and Principal BSDF. With the color ramp's black node, you can move it, and as you see, it will look a bit rainy puddle and wet look to your ground. I will use this method for other textures too. And the noise texture scale, you can change your look. For the column, I will use the same method, Ctrl Shift T, and I will choose my tiles map. Choosing all of this, I am giving texture to this, and again, as the same method, U to unwrap. If you want to add second material for the bottom part of your column, you can with the plus tiles black. I added this, and after that, in tab to edit mode, choose your faces where you want to assign your second material. After that, press assign. As you see, it changed. Now it's time to add our second material with the same method, Ctrl Shift T, and I will choose square floor textures maps. And if you want, you can set your U to unwrap. For the side walls, I will use the same material from the column texture. If you want, again, you can U to unwrap. For the ground, you can add your second material as the same method. We added tactical paving. For the side part, I'm making same thing. As I said before, if you don't apply your modifiers, your assigning texture and adding texture will be really easy. Now we will add some cube and we will make some protector. As you see, some maybe you saw before, some modern subway station has this type of glass and metal part of the protector near of the railroad. As you see, I'm making a shape with a cube, and after that I'm adding a subdivision surface modifier to this. For tidy up it, and in edit mode, you can add some loop cuts with Ctrl R. I am shifty to duplicate it and scale a bit. I am adding some rough and our train material and U to unwrap as Smart UV project. And I am adding a plane because I want to make some glass. I will use for this transparent glass. We made before as a subway train video. You can check it from the top right card again. I am Ctrl J to join them all and move into my station, and as the same method we add some array modifier and set our y value 1. And after that you can increase your counts. With the mirror modifier I made near. Let's add some sign, subway sign for the exit. I will add some image texture and I'm adding emission node. Connect color to color and emission to surface. As now you will see, we will choose a texture for ourselves. And you can U to unwrap with the Smart UV project. In go to UV edit, as you see our map is here. You can rotate and scale it with your vertices and you can make your own LED signs to yourself. I will make a video for this in detail. As you see in the cycles render, it looks really nice. And I added a map type of the JPEG for this. I downloaded this trash can and wet floor sign from the Sketchfab. As you can download it. I showed before how to download Sketchfab add-on and activate in Blender. You can check my other video. Now it's time to add some lights. I am adding an area light. I will scale it and place under the fluorescent. You can increase your power as a 200, maybe you want 500, you can make it if you get your render in the cycles, but it can be make a bit heavy to your scene. As you see, you can change your color too. But I like this and I shifted to duplicate my whole light from here. As EV it looks like that, but I will get some render from the cycles. In the output settings, you can set your resolution, frame rate, frame start and end. After that, if you want, you can choose your output folder. As a file format, I'm getting PNG, but if you want, you can get FFmpeg video and as an encoding MPEG-4. And press render animation. But I'm getting some PNG because my Blender and computer sometimes crash. So I'm getting PNG animation render. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later in new tutorials.